Alright, welcome back everybody to week 5 now of the GLCC Season 2. And we are going up against Nicevsnamy and their team, the Tokyo Tricksters, which, by the way, absolutely outstanding logo. I love this logo, it's amazing. As you can see, the Tokyo Tricksters have picked up a monotype electric team. We have some threats like Iron Hands that we'll have to be aware of, Zapdos as well, Thunderous. There's a Toxtricity there. There's a whole bunch of crap that I need to worry about, and that's really not good, given the fact, one, that Namy is a very, very good player. I think they're 3-1 at this point in the league. I'm 1-3, and since I'm 1-3, that leads me into my second point, which is, if we lose this game, we are no longer going to be able to make it to playoffs, and so we're going to have to really bust our asses here and get a win today if we ever want to get into playoffs this season. So that's exactly what we're going to try and do. Essentially, though, something else I'm yet to explain is the Tera Iron Thorns situation. Iron Thorns, with Tera, Namy has used it to climb all the way up to number 1 on the kill leaderboard. Prior to this game, I believe that it is, let's see, I think it's like 16-1, if I just am remembering off the top of my dome, but it's something ridiculous like that. I know it's only died once, and it has like closing in on 20 kills. It might be 17-1 or something like that, but I'm pretty sure it's 16-1. Either way, that's a ridiculous number. So yeah, we're gonna have to get through it today if we want to advance to the playoffs. And so that's, yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult. So I expect this game to go one of two ways. Either we get blown out and we just immediately lose, or it's a very good game and we win with very little differential, because I imagine that we won't be the ones blowing them out. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm just sort of going into this with the mindset of where it's going to be close if we're going to win. But we do, of course, have the preparations in place to hopefully win this game and turn our season around slowly but surely here. So starting things off, we have Geometry Dash the Iron Moth, and I always complained about this guy's damage, and so I figured I'd throw on a choice Specs. It looks pretty good into this matchup. Overheat in general just does a ton of damage to everything. Energy Ball will hit things like the Sandy Shocks, stuff like that. Sludge Wave is our other stab, and then we have Psychic as well for Iron Hands, Toxtricity. So yeah, hopefully this guy can just output tons and tons of damage. I expect this to probably like be cleaning up an end game or forcing switches. So yeah, I do think that it's a pretty integral piece to our game plan here. I'm also expecting the Magna Zone to come, obviously because Steel is completely immune to poison. I feel like Namy is kind of obligated to bring it in a sense, and this guy obviously is just going to blow it out of the water, and if Namy wants to switch, then whatever his switching is going to be is probably also not going to appreciate a Specs Iron Moth. I am worried a little bit about Iron Hands being Assault Vest or something along those lines, like just Assault Vest 4 attacks would probably just ruin me. Earthquake, either Thunder Punch or Wild Charge, and then I guess I don't know what other coverage it would want, maybe CC or something like that, in case my Tera Captains come, which obviously I have the Rev Room down here, it will come. So I don't know. Either way, Iron Hands is going to be a huge problem. Hopefully it's not Assault Vest, because otherwise this Iron Moth will deal with it pretty well, but we'll have to gain some information on it in order to scout that out. Anyways, though, moving on to our second slot, you know I had to bring Tera Ground Rev Room into the electric matchup. This is our lead. We're guaranteed leading this guy almost 90% of the time, I'd say. We're going to immediately Tera into the ground type and click Parting Shot. Hopefully they don't try and hit me immediately on turn number 1, because I'd like to preserve HP on this if possible. If not, then we're going to have a full health ground type in the back, which is really, really good. And yeah, we'll be able to grab some early momentum as well with Parting Shot if they just switch or something like that. So that's the idea there. You'll notice we are holding a Mirror Herb, and that is because this is actually going to be our Iron Thorns check. Obviously, Iron Thorns has Tera Flying. If for some reason it hasn't Tera, then I guess I could just hit it with high horsepower, but otherwise Gunk Shot is going to be our strongest move to just hit that thing. We do also have Temper Flare, Just, yeah, in case Magnezone decides to switch in on my Gunk Shot and then I end up doing nothing, then Temper Flare should be able to take care of Magnezone, assuming it's not Aqua Berry or anything like that. So this is kind of the idea with this set. We're going to copy the Iron Thorns stat boost when it uses Dragon Dance, because that's how it's been sweeping everybody so effectively. It's just tearing and then clicking Dragon Dance and then just claiming a whole bunch of kills. I want to say that it's probably going to be Dragon Dance into my team as well, and so we're going to try and copy that with Mirror Herb, and we will be able to outspeed it with 208 speed EVs, and then hit it with a big strong Gunk Shot, which probably won't kill, but it'll do really good damage, and that's what you love to see. So hopefully Reverum can get the job done here and weaken, if not kill, the Iron Thorns. Next up, we have the Pecharunt here, Among Us, holding a Shuka Berry once again. We have Shadow Ball, Parting Shot, Recover, and Toxic. I'm not Malignant Chain here for a couple of reasons. One, Malignant Chain only poisons 50% of the time, and I feel like I would rather run Toxic, which obviously does less damage because it's not an attacking move. However, it hits much more often than... the poison is much more often than the poison from Malignant Chain, and that's really the important part here. Obviously, if I get a Toxic onto the Iron Hands, it's going to become confused. There's a very high chance it'll start hitting itself in confusion, and it'll just start taking chip, which in general is really, really good for me. Obviously, Iron Hands, pretty big threat, so we're gonna have to deal with that as well. And then we do also have Shadow Ball, just for some sort of attacking move. It can hit Magnezone as well, so since Magnezone's probably going to be the switch into this guy, we can just go ahead and whack it with a Shadow Ball. It won't do much damage, but it'll at least be doing some, more than Malignant Chain anyways, once again. And then our last two moves are Parting Shot for some momentum, and Recover as well for some longevity. We have enough special defense EVs that, we'll be able to do decently against some of these special threats like Toxtricity, Regieleki, things like that. So even the Zapdos as well, depending on its investment, we can maybe take a hit or two from. But yeah, most of our EVs are, of course, just going to be in physical defense, as this is our primary Iron Hands check. So that's sort of the idea there. Speaking of specially defensive Pokemon, however, here we have our Glow King with heavy duty boots just to come in case the Sandy Shocks decides to spike stack us. It's going to be nice in order to have the boots so that we get even more HP back with Regenerator. When those spikes are up, we can just sort of ignore them. We have Future Sight because there's no Dark type, Flamethrower, Psychic, and Chilly Reception. I feel like this is a pretty standard set. One of the more standard sets that I'm running this go around, aside from just like the regular specs Iron Moth up there. But yeah, I feel like the reason why I am running this is because it gets the job done. Obviously, Future Sight is really, really free here. And then we do have Flamethrower. Flamethrower is pretty good for hitting the Magnezone if it decides to switch in. I'm guessing that whenever this Pokemon is in, I'm probably going to be clicking Future Sight as the Magnezone switches in, and then after that happens, I can go ahead and Flamethrower. They'll probably scout for that, but I'll at least be doing chip damage, and I can maybe fish for a burn. Psychic as well, just in case I need to hit the Iron Hands that's in front of me, like right now. But realistically, I should never live an Iron Hands hit anyways if it's going for Earthquakes. So yeah, Psychic is kind of a dead move slot, but I mean, I don't think I need Slack Off. I definitely don't need Thunder Wave or any other coverage like that. I can maybe do Ice Beam to try and hit Zapdos, but I feel like Psychic is good enough. And then yeah, Chilly Reception for some momentum, and that's going to be our Glow King set. In our fifth slot here, we have Vileplume holding Leftovers with Effect Spore. I really like this guy, as I'm sure that you figured out from the past few games. So yeah, we're gonna give him another whirl here. The idea here is to sort of force switches using like this guy comes in on Sandy Shocks for free. Sandy Shocks can never touch this guy, and Sandy Shocks will definitely also be coming due to the fact that I'm mono poison and I'm weak to ground. So yeah, every time Sandy Shocks is in, I'm going to switch into this guy, and I'm going to click Sleep Powder once it tries to Volt Switch out, and hopefully we'll be able to we will be able, to put something to sleep. And then after we put something to sleep, we're just going to try and be annoying with Protect, Leech Seed, and Strength Sap. 0 attacking moves. I feel like this is sort of a meme set, but yeah, we can definitely stall out a lot of Namy's Pokemon. and overall the more chip we can get for Iron Moth in the end game, the better, or for something else in the end game. You never know, maybe Pecharunt or Revavroom will be in the end game as well, so you never really know, but hopefully we'll just be able to get more and more chip, heal ourselves back up with Strength Sap, and then just Leech Seed, Protect, and yeah, sort of drain some of Namy's HP. And finally, we are going to wrap things up with a Choice Scarf Glimmora, and I think I'm going to try and play this Glimmora a little bit differently than I have been in the past. In the past, I've been very, very careless, I think, with my Glimmora. You know, I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to try and get T-Spikes up, oh, I'm going to do this, right? But I feel like Glimmora here is just so valuable. Obviously, I have Earth Power here, and we are Scarf, so we'll be able to outspeed Iron Thorns after one Dragon Dance. We'll be able to outspeed a whole bunch of other important Pokemon as well. Not quite the Regieleki, of course. That thing's just too fast. But yeah, I feel like this is a very, very important Pokemon to have around. We have Power Gem for some stab, Energy Ball as well for Sandy Shocks, and then Mortal Spin in case we have too many hazards on our side. Obviously, I was not going to bring my Tentacruel into this game, and so instead Mortal Spin with the Scarf is going to be our removal. And yeah, that's kind of the idea behind this set. I'm really going to try and have Glimmora put in more work than it has in the past if possible, but yeah, it depends on the positioning and everything like that, so you'll never really know how things are going to turn out until the game starts. And speaking of the game starting, let's go ahead and send you guys over there now. I'll catch you guys once we begin. Alright, week 5, we're up against Nicevsnamy here. It's win or go home. Let's fucking do this. One last rodeo potentially. If we end up losing to Iron Thorns, then I'm not going to be too mad, but it'll just be a sad way to end playoff contention, if you will. So I think that I want to lead Revavroom and Tera and click Parting Shot because I feel like Sandy Shocks might lead and that guy doesn't get much coverage. And there's nothing. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Like, what would be bad if I did do that? I think that if let's see, I outspeed Hands, that's not a problem. Maybe Thundurus would be bad to do that into, or Zapdos, just because they're speedy quick. Maybe Magnezone if it's probably like Scarf or something like that. It could be a defensive item as well, so who knows. But yeah, I don't see a real problem. Okay, they do just go straight into the Thundurus here. Yeah, I mean, if you're just gonna click Psychic here, then my best play is to just still Terra Ground and Parting Shot out into something else. Are you gonna click Grass Knot? Are you that alpha? I don't think you are. Do I ever just click Gunk Shot here? I don't think I do. I don't think I want to. I think I'm just gonna get my Terra off and leave. Okay, good, they switch as well, and we're gonna Parting Shot on this Zapdos, and we'll be able to switch out into something else here. So, Zapdos, huh? I guess we can go into our Choice Scarf Glimmora, or maybe, I wonder if I ever just go Slowking. I feel like that's a little bit too reactionary. I guess I can get a Future Sight up, in which case Magnezone probably comes in on me. And then I have Flamethrower for it, which could be nice. I kind of like that sequence better just because I want to keep Glimmora around, I think. Yeah, I think that that's more so the correct idea here. So I'm going to go here. And now I think that I have a free Future Sight. I'm going to invite in Magnezone. What does Magnezone get, actually? I'm pretty sure that Magnezone gets like 0 coverage. I'm going to check really quick. Yeah, by the looks of it, Magnezone has nothing to hit Slowking here, so I am just going to throw up a Future Sight, and that'll be nice. And if the Magnezone comes in, I'll probably just Flamethrower the next turn. as I'm not too sure what the Magnezone would want to do. Obviously, if it's Magnet Pull, I've Terra'd out of my Steel type on Revavroom. If it is Analytic, then Slowking is still slower, so it won't get the boost. So yeah, I'm not too sure what the Magnezone would be doing if it were to switch in here. I feel like it just is a nice defensive switch in, obviously. And here it is. Okay. So then at this point, are you gonna like Thunder Wave me? What's going on here? Yeah, just looking through the move pool, there just really isn't a ton that it could do. Maybe it sets up screens or something like that. That could be annoying. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not too sure what you would do here. I think maybe you might Volt Switch, in which case something else has to eat a Flamethrower and potentially get a burn on like Thorns or Hands or whatever wants to come in. Maybe Sandy Shocks. So yeah, I think that, okay, yeah, it does just go ahead and Volt Switch. So that means that something is going to be taking a Future Sight, which is cool. And a Flamethrower, if I'm not mistaken. So I suppose they could switch back in on the Future Sight. But anyways, let's go ahead and see what they want to go into. Hopefully it's one of their big physical attackers, and then I can end up fishing for a burn. If I get that burn, that would be hype as hell. Thundurus comes in, okay. We do 30 there. I do 30 there, okay. Then what do you want to do? What do you want to do, Thundurus? Thundurus, I remember it gets Knock. It might get other moves as well to hit my Slowking. What's my switch into this thing? Gosh. Okay, to my knowledge, Knockoff does not ever kill, unless you're like banded as hell. What I can do now is Flamethrower again on the Magnezone switch. And either I hit Magnezone with Flamethrower plus Future Sight, or I hit this with Flamethrower plus Future Sight, which would kill it. I'm not sure if Flamethrower into Magnezone plus Future Sight would kill it, but I feel like this is just the correct play, because I can regen this guy back up at a later time, I think. So I'm going to do that. He Thunderbolts. Yeah, that doesn't do too much to me. And now this Thundy is dead. Oh, outstanding. Okay, so Slowking kills the Thundurus there. So we end up taking the first KO of the game. And I feel really nice about... Okay, Quark Drive attack. Ugh. I feel really nice about Slowking for the rest of this game if they decided to go into Thundurus as their switch-in after Magnezone. So... I guess here, I mean, what are they expecting me to do here? Are they expecting me to try and pivot out? I mean, I feel like if you're them, you just set up a Dragon Dance here, right? As what attacks does this guy get? It gets like... it gets Earthquake, obviously Rock moves as well, and Electric moves as well. I feel like you would probably just go ahead and go for a kill. Revavroom takes everything to my knowledge. Maybe not with Booster Attack. I'm gonna calc it just to make sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we take everything. So I'm gonna go here. Please Dragon Dance. That would be so awesome. Awesome. Okay. Now, does Gunk kill? I outspeed. That's the good thing. I should always outspeed here. And Earthquake doesn't kill in one still, which is its strongest move to hit a ground type to my knowledge. It'll do like 88. And Gunk Shot should 2-hit KO. If I just hit him. I gotta hit 2 Gunk Shots, guys. Can I do it? Can Revavroom pull it off? There's one. Oh, nice. Oh, okay, interesting. So Tera Blast actually does just go ahead and take us out there. Okay. But the good news is I have this Scarf Glimmora in the back. Scarf Glimmora should be able to pick this off. I feel like trading my Revavroom for Iron Thorns isn't exactly ideal, simply because Revavroom has nice ground type damage, which would really be good for the rest of the team. But yeah, I mean, I have this really nice option to revenge. I feel like I just go for it. There's no way you outspeed me, right? Yeah, I creeped this. I crept this mon. Yes, crept is the past tense of creep, not creeped. Alright, so this should always revenge, to my understanding. So we're gonna click Power Gem, because we kind of have to, sadly. So he could just switch out. But yes, there we go. Okay, we took down the kill leader. That is that thing's second death this entire league. Nice, okay. Okay. We're cooking with gas now. He knows about Scarf, which is a little bit unfortunate. So he could definitely just go into the Magna Zone here. And I would have to work out what to do from there. But that's nice. I wonder maybe he goes into Iron Hands and clicks Swords Dance too. The positioning in this is so tough. I think I would have to go Petrarunt if he goes into Iron Hands, which I'm willing to do. Now that Iron Hands is the only like physical attacker left, I'm willing to completely spend my Petrarunt on it. Okay, but so far we're so good. We've killed Iron Thorns. Iron Thorns got 1 kill on us this game. That's like an all-time low for it. It's been racking up like, I think it's 6-0'd in the first week, and then it's been racking up like 4 kill, 5 kill games. That shit was 16-1 coming into this game. So I'm really happy that we traded 1 for 1 with it, which is really, really good. Okay, here's the zone. In the zone, auto zone, do I want to go Terraria or do I want to go Slowking? I don't think I can use Iron Moth yet. Right? Yeah, I don't think I can. So I think I have to go either Terraria or Slowking. Let's see. If I go Slowking and you Volt Switch, you go into Hands probably, and then I go Among Us. On your Earthquake, I eat 1, I outspeed, and I click Toxic. Or you go Sandy Shocks, and I go Vileplume, because Vileplume eats Sandy Shocks alive. There's nothing that Sandy Shocks can do, Sandy Shocks to do into Vileplume. So I think I always go Slowking here. There should be nothing that this Pokemon can do that would 2-hit KO me. And beautiful, I ate that, nice. Okay, Flash Cannon was the best thing that they had to click right there. I guess obviously just trying to hit the Glimmora, but I think that, I do think that it was fairly obvious that I was going to switch out there. So, and Flash Cannon by that damage might not even 2-hit KO me. So do I ever, do I ever Chili here? Or do I ever click Future Sight and get greedy? I think I Chili here. I think you Volt Switch into me and go into Hands and then I Chili. I think that's the play. Or you Hard Switch because you're a choice item. You're not Specs, because that's not Specs damage. So you would be Choice Scarf if you're a choice item. Okay, they attacked and they actually crit me. I'm not a huge fan of that. But I can go Iron Moth here. I can go Iron Moth. That's definitely an option I have now. I've given myself free Iron Moth here. And Choice Specs Overheat is about to do a number into whatever wants to switch in, unless it's like AV Iron Hands, in which case we'll be able to tell. There's no reason to overpredict. I'm just gonna click the button. They have to switch. Okay, here's Sandy Shocks, Protosynthesis, Spidef. Okay, and that's still. Holy crap, man. I'm sorry if that laugh sounds weird into the mic or something like that, but holy crap, bro. That's Protosynthesis Spidef. You're joking, bro. Okay, but now this is a free Earth Power for them, but you're joking, bro. Like, I go Terraria here always. Okay, they spike. Not a huge fan of that, but it's okay. And then now I Sleep Powder something, hopefully. Maybe the Magna Zone. Depends on what they switch into here. But holy crap, bro. Choice Specs Iron Moth. That's what I'm talking about, bro. I tried to run that funky booster speed set that one game, and it just didn't do enough damage. Slap a Choice Specs on there. Slap on Overheat. I think it's 130 base power. Bro, that thing's hitting like a small island. That's crazy. Okay, Volt Switch is out, so we do know that he has a pivoting move, and we know now that it's also itemless. Ah, we missed. Okay, it's a little bit unfortunate that we missed that. I guess what I do now is, what do I want to do now? Do I die in one hurricane? I might not die in one hurricane. I think I'm going to protect, just to scout what they're going to go for. Because, like, what would you go for in this position? I think I'm going to protect. Because either you Volt Switch, or you click Hurricane, in my opinion. Or you set up a random ass screen that I'm not. That would kind of suck if you clicked, like, random light screen or something like that. Brave Bird. Okay, interesting. I'm glad I scouted for that. Okay. That certainly kills me, I'm pretty sure. So I have to switch. I have to switch now. And I think I have to go Minecraft now. They might Volt Switch on my Glimmora and go back into Magnezone, but I think I have to do this now. Okay. So here's this Pokemon. I have Energy Ball, and I have Earth Power. Earth Power is by far the better click. Or no. I mean, I have to switch either way, which kind of stinks. It's just a matter of, do I want to give the Zapdos a free switch in? Or, I mean, either way, I have to kill this Pokemon, and I give Zapdos a free switch in. And I feel okay about going into Among Us now that I know that it's actually a physical set. That's really cool. I've never seen a physical Zapdos before. Obviously, being a legendary, it has some pretty good stats all around, so it makes sense that it could go physical. But I've never seen it before, and so that's a fascinating bring from my opponent. But I think that the correct play here is to Energy Ball, because it damages everything, even if they go back into Zapdos. I think that that's always my play. And the good news is I'm also denying them from getting a second Spike. So either they switch here. No, I'm clicking Earth Power. If they go Zapdos, I just go Among Us and I don't care. I'm clicking Earth Power, I don't care. If you go Zapdos, GG's. Ah, fuck, okay. Doesn't matter. Now we go into Among Us. Surely. I wonder if it's a mixed set. Petron can still take its special hits, I think. Like, Discharge appears to do... Let's see, if it's 252 Modest, it would still not even... it would do just about half, by the looks of things. And that's only if it's 252 Modest, which I kind of doubt after it reveals Brave Bird. After it revealed Brave Bird the other turn. So I feel like this is a very free Pecharunt for me. And it's really good to know that whenever Sandy Shocks is on the field, I can go into Vileplume nicely. And yeah, I suppose that double does make sense from them because they saw that I went Vileplume the first time, and they can probably anticipate now that this Vileplume is essentially just a Sandy Shocks check. And so it's good for them to go into Zapdos. That makes a lot of sense. Here's Among Us, takes Spike, Discharge, does not do a lot at all. Do I want to recover then? Or do I want a Parting Shot? I think I want to recover, because I just Parting Shot the next turn on Magnezone. I don't think it really matters. Or what if they go Sandy Shocks? Do I care? Okay, here's Magnezone. That's fine. We recover back. And now I think I can Parting Shot. And I'll be okay. I do really want to keep this guy healthy for the Iron Hands in the back. Okay, we outspeed. So we're gonna take a pretty decent sized hit on something here. How much does Flash Cannon do into Iron Moth? A lot. Okay, how much does it do into Slowking? a lot. Okay. Yeah, Analytic is a tough ability to play around, man. Maybe I do give up Vileplume now. Maybe I do that now. Because the only thing it's really doing, everything else feels really valuable still. Yeah, I think this is my play. Okay, and they Volt switched. And they crit. Okay. So now they have another Zapdos moment here. I'm assuming that they're probably going to go ahead and go into the Zapdos and just click Brave Bird. I wonder if I ever go back into Petron and then go hard Iron Moth on Magnezone coming in. Oh, I just realized in all of my calculations I was just doing, I never calced the drop from Parting Shot. God damn it. So I could have gone Slowking and maybe regen back up. That's a little bit too bad. But here's the Zapdos. Yeah, I'm going to Protect for one more round of leftovers. No reason not to. Okay. And they seem pretty content about just clicking Brave Bird here. How ballsy would I be to stay in and click Sleep Powder? Darn, okay. I think that's okay though, because at the end of the day, I don't really need Vileplume alive to win this. And this gives me another Iron Moth moment. Yeah, Adamant Brave Bird would have a roll to kill me after one spike. If it is Scarf. I don't think you would be Scarf though. Like, why would you be Scarf? For Sneasler? Assuming its Unburden isn't procced? Also, you switched out on my Scarf Glimmora earlier. So I don't think you're Scarf. I think I can go here and click Overheat again. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. Please don't miss. That would be really bad. We've gotten a couple of crits coming our direction so far. And I think that we got one earlier that didn't end up mattering because the regular damage still killed. So hopefully we don't continue to get rolled like that. I'm really worried that this Iron Hands is like AV or something like that, and it's gonna be really hard to kill. But so long as Petront is healthy, I feel like we have a fighting chance. This is a very interesting and close game, so. And maybe I shouldn't have thrown away the Vileplume like that. That was a little bit careless of me, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe not a risk worth taking. I did it for the content though. Hooray! It would have been fun. Awesome. Nice. Let's go. One more dead. We are going to have to make another defensive switch here, which isn't exactly ideal. Iron Hands is in. Okay, Iron Hands is in. Iron Hands is in. Do I ever sack Slowking now? Because now I think Slowking is probably the Pokemon that looks least valuable here. I think that's my move. Earthquake. Alright, that's fine. Give that guy up. And then... Yeah, this could be really close depending on this Iron Hands item. If it's Assault Vest or some shit like that, then that would be really bad. I'm gonna do this. And I'm going to... I really want a Toxic here. But I feel like they just go... I feel like they just go Magnezone. Shadow Ball is my best mid-ground. I get damage on them regardless. I can test if they're AV. Okay, here's that Pokemon. Alright, and then I simply Parting Shot here. And I go Iron Moth, and I claim another kill. It's gonna be like a SAT game, and it's gonna probably be a 1v1 between something and Iron Hands. Either Iron Moth or Pecharunt. Gosh, I'm nervous, man. My season's riding on this game, bro. And I was hoping I could maybe win with a little bit more diff, because I need all the help I can get, but I mean, I just gotta start by grabbing this win for sure. If it's not... Okay. Yeah, if I don't end up winning this game, then nothing matters at all, so... But yeah, I have to go Iron Moth here. Please don't hurt. Okay. Not huge on that. Did they go Hands here? Alright. This is rough, bro. This is so rough, man. Is Magnezone Shuka? There's so much to consider right now. I mean, I have my Shuka Berry still. On this guy, yeah. The spike is being annoying as well. Okay. Nice, that did 0. Holy fuck. Holy fuck, that did 0. Yeah, no, you're not max attack, are you? Unless that's just a shitty roll. I feel like I have to Parting Shot now on Magnezone. This is a risky play, because if they stay in, I have to get these turns right, man. If they stay in, okay. They went Magnezone. So we get Moth back in. And they probably sack Sandy Shocks. Or do we go Glimmora? Glimmora is probably better. Because I can click Earth Power into everything. And they'll probably still give me Sandy Shocks first and then go Iron Hands. Or they give me Magnezone, because Sandy Shocks is fast, but it's still not very fast. It's not fast enough to have an impact into this match. It only outspeeds my Pecharunt, so... Oh shit. It's Custat Berry. Oh shit. Okay, what move would this Pokemon click? That's really cool from my opponent, and it might just lose me the game now. Are you gonna explode? Are you gonna Steel Beam? You could definitely Steel Beam here, which would kill both of us. And then I think I lose that endgame actually, because Iron Moth only has so many switch-ins left. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so close. Do I give up Pecharunt ever? Because Iron Hands has no chip on it, man. Iron Hands is at full health. Yeah. That thing doesn't die in one super effective hit, like, ever. And it's even worse if it's AV. I'm like hoping and praying it's not AV now. Oh my gosh, maybe I just shouldn't have given up the... I just shouldn't have given up my Vileplume, but I mean, Vileplume's doing nothing here, really. Yeah, I think my best play is to honestly sack Pecharunt go back into Glimmora, and then I have a Choice Scarf Earth Power locked in. Okay. Alright. It's gonna be so close, guys. I have to go Glimmora first, because Iron Moth's Overheat will lower its special attack. I have to go Glimmora first. Okay, and here's Iron Hands. Please do big damage. Show me that you're not AV. It's Shuka. Okay. That might be enough. That might be enough, guys. Psychic should kill. And Sandy Shocks' item list and also low, so Psychic should kill that too. I'm Specs. You're dead. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Ugh, I played that right. Okay, let's go, dude. The season's not over yet, boys. I'll see you guys next time for week number 6. We're not out of the woods yet, boys. But the season is not yet over, bro. What an intense game. GG's to my opponent. Oh my gosh, man. I was on the edge of my seat that entire endgame. Wow. It feels so good to finally win a fucking game in this league again too, bro. I don't know. I'm so hyped about this. I'll see you guys in the next segment. I don't know what to say at this point. Alright, you guys. That was an absolutely crazy game. I don't think I've ever played that close, that fun, and that good of a game ever, frankly, in draft. And I've only been playing for a little bit, but I think that this still says a lot about this game in particular. So once again, GG's to my opponent Namy. Holy crap, they started making some schmoves on me at the very, very end there, and it ultimately just came down to my Iron Moth suddenly being able to output damage. So I'm glad that I did end up throwing the choice specs on that guy. But yeah, holy moly, man, that was a super duper fun game to play. So GG's to my opponent. Props to them as well for having such a good season, for bringing Iron Thorns to such unforeseen heights, if you will. But I'm going to try and keep this segment short because I know that that battle was pretty long, and this video is probably going to be kind of a long one as well. So let's just go ahead and start up the replay here. Yeah, early on, I think I've got a lot of turns correct here. And so here we go, just Terra Grounding and Parting Shot out with the Revivroom. It's good to get my ground type set. Now we have the Magnezone as predicted on my Slowking, and I end up revealing the Flamethrower here, but the good news is I can just go ahead and click Flamethrower again because I sponge everything that Thundurus could go for. If this was knockoff, then maybe this wasn't such a great play, but it ended up working out as I got an early lead on the Thundurus, and Namy goes ahead and immediately goes into the Iron Thorns with the Cork Drive attack to try and win the game. However, we do have our Revivroom here, the ground type. It does die in one hit, but it does more than enough damage to the Iron Thorns. So 07 Revivroom, you did your job just fine, because Glimmora can come in and click Power Gem and claim that threat's life. And now we go back out into Slowking here. We see a critical hit, which I wasn't a huge fan of, but since we're chillying out, it doesn't really matter because we can just regenerate it anyways. And now, holy moly, this turn was crazy. I did not expect Overheat to do that much to Booster Spadef Sandy Shocks. That is wild, man. I guess that Booster Spadef, I don't really know the purpose for it. I'm imagining that it was for generating like an entry point for the Sandy Shocks, because obviously it looks very good offensively into my team. And so with the booster special defense, it could pretty much always come in on something like Iron Moth. Even if I was to click a regular non-specs energy ball, I'm pretty sure that it would live. But yeah, absolutely crazy damage considering this is booster special defense. Just immense damage. I love to see it from Iron Moth. You heard me laughing when this went down in real time. I was absolutely ecstatic. And so now we're going to go into our Vileplume, which checks this pretty much 100% of the time. And Vileplume finally makes its first error of the season. We're going to miss our Sleep Powder on this Zapdos. If it hit, then life would have been really nice, but yeah, unfortunately it does not hit. We see the Brave Bird there as I go ahead and scout with Protect, which is pretty cool, and then yeah, obviously they double out into the Sandy Shocks here. Very good play from Namy as well in this position, predicting me to switch out with the Vileplume, seeing as it had just revealed the Brave Bird and that it was content to kill me. So yeah, really nice read by my opponent there. And now they get the play correct again as I Earth Power on the incoming flying type Zapdos here. And I'm forced out to go into the Pecharunt. I expected a physical attack. Obviously, Pecharunt would have eaten the physical attack, but we do see Discharge. No Para, unfortunately, for my opponent, but yeah, it gives me some information about their set. I can see that they are mixed, and yeah, it invites in the Magnezone, unfortunately, and so I'm going to have to Parting Shot out. And here we see another Volt Switch, another crit, which doesn't really matter because yeah, I can just heal it back with leftovers and everything, but either way, my opponent goes ahead and gets the Zapdos back in, and here I make a somewhat silly mistake. I don't really think it mattered because Vileplume wasn't really sitting on anything except Sandy Shocks anyways, and now that they realize that my Iron Moth is Specs, Sandy Shocks really has no more entry points, which is a great thing overall. So yeah, I think that as a result of Sandy Shocks not having too many safe entry points, I was pretty okay with just letting go of Vileplume there, which is why I made a pretty quick decision to just, you know, if they stay in, they stay in and they kill me. If not, then I can go ahead and click a button. I would think I was just clicking Sleep Powder there to try and get greedy and put this Zapdos to sleep, which would be huge for my team anyways, but yeah, that's why I ended up doing that. But either way, got the turn wrong, and now Namy's going to give me the Zapdos as I overheat once again. And we see Iron Hands here, and they played this Iron Hands super well. They were bluffing that it was Assault Vest, which is absolutely crazy place because I was totally convinced that it was actually Assault Vest. So they did a really good job pretending that this was Assault Vest here. And yeah, unfortunately the Magnezone comes in once again on my Pecharunt, which can't really touch it. And so we end up sacrificing our momentum here, and Iron Moth goes all the way down to 50 HP thanks to Magnezone's Volt Switch as well as the spikes. And yeah, now that Pecharunt's in, guess what? Magnezone's back in, so we have to Parting Shot it in order to keep momentum up. My goal here realistically was that, you know, I would love to click Recover on Pecharunt, especially now that my Shuka Berry is gone, as it completely stops Iron Hands. But overall, I don't think that I can afford to click Recover because I just simply give up too much momentum. Obviously, the next turn I would have to probably Parting Shot on the Magnezone in front of me, and then they would simply Volt Switch on whatever I switched in. Or they ended up being Steel Beam. I didn't really know that at the time, and so none of my other Pokemon would have really loved to eat a Steel Beam for sure either. So I think that I did end up making the correct play, just sort of not worrying too much about Pecharunt's health, and more so just trying to keep my positioning up. And here, Namy reveals the final little bit of tech they have here. It's going to be Endure, Custat Berry, Steel Beam, that's what it's called, yes. And so I sack the Pecharunt. I don't think it has too much value left. And yeah, we go ahead and go into our Scarf Glimmora because I know that we're going to get a hit off, and it reveals to be Shuka Berry on the Iron Hands. I was, again, totally convinced that it was going to be Assault Vest, and so Namy played that super well in a super convincing fashion, but it doesn't matter as the Iron Moth is going to come in and click Psychic a whole bunch, as yeah, Specs is absolutely broken on this guy, just does a ton of damage. That game ended up being a lot closer, I think, than it had to be. Maybe I could have gone away with like a 2-0, possibly 3-0 victory had I not gotten absolutely schmooved on by Namy at the very end there. But yeah, once they realized that they were down, pretty much once Thorns died, I think, they started making some really good plays, which I have to give them props for. So once again, GG's, absolute blast of a game. I hope you guys enjoyed that as well in the video, because I know that I certainly enjoyed playing in this one, and it does feel nice to finally come out with a win again in the GLCC. So we are still in playoff contention. We have to win our next 2 games. Our next one is going to be up against Lost Lottle, who has the monotype dark team. with some threats like Meowscarada, Roaring Moon, Weavile, you name it. So that's going to be a pretty tough one, I think. But for now, let's just bask in our glory for our week number 5 win. Thank goodness we got it, because otherwise I would be completely out. But until the next time, I'll see you guys later. Go Seattle Slashers.